Welcome back to Just Carve Rob. Sorry guys, I know it's been a minute, but had real life, real people things to do. So today we're starting out with a block of wood that's 4 inches long, 3.5 inch or 1.5 inches wide, or 1.5 inches square. We've got the Dremel flex shaft on a Dremel 4000 with a Dremel extreme burr, similar but not as good as the Cutsaw flame burr. This is a Dremel flame burr. Okay, from what I can tell from this flame burr, the way it's set up is the teeth are in line, not staggered. It cuts fine. Does a good job. I'm putting the boot tray tour here. But with the teeth being in line, it will burn the wood. You can see that little dark spot there. When you press, you can see I'm getting little dark spots, and that's from the teeth being in line. So the wood bottoms out at the bottom of the teeth, and it won't go no further unless you move the burr. So that's one problem. If you just keep moving, you'll be fine. But for the price of these burrs, they're similar to the Cutsaw Extreme burr as far as price goes, and I find the Cutsaw Extreme burr, as you can see now that I have in this tool, works, and this is an older burr, so it's a little bit dull, but it works great. The Dremel burr does work. It does remove a lot of material, but the way the tooth configuration set up on this one, it will bottom out and it will burn your wood. So the Cutsaw Extreme burr has that staggered tooth deal going on it, which keeps you from burning your wood, and it will just cut right. You can cut straight through your wood with this thing. If you just push it, she'll go. But with the Dremel burr, it will bottom out unless you move it. That's my opinion. My opinion, and $10 will get you a cup of coffee. Yes. So, in other words, my opinion ain't worth a cup of coffee. Okay. We have a micromotor. I'm just bouncing all over the place with these burrs. We have a saber-tooth straight burr in here. This is the yellow, so it is not the extreme, but it does a great job. And here we have the saber-tooth and another micromotor, the saber-tooth green, which is their coarse. They have a orange, which is the extreme. This is a coarse. The yellow is the medium, and then you've got your other ones. White, which is a whisper, I think they call it, is white. You can see we're carving the hat on a gnome here, folks. That's what we're doing. Yep. Poof, gone. Get rid of that dust. Hey, get in there. We got a long ways to go. I think this video is close to 30 plus minutes long. So I got to figure out what to say and run my face for 30 plus minutes. Good thing I got a fresh cup of tea sitting here. Yes, I do. This video is also sponsored by Carving Fusion, Jordy Johnson. He sent us a knife. Yes, he did. We love it when we get knives. Okay, so there it is. This is a flex cut knife. Yep, works really good, very sharp, and you can poke yourself pretty easily with it. How do I know? Oh, yeah, it might have been experience. Yep, very pokey. When you're used to carving with little short blades, and then you jump into this. I gotta say, this blade's got to be like 4.5 inches long. Yeah, it takes a minute to get used to it. Yep. So don't poke yourself. This, believe it or not, the most pokey blade that I got is this one, and they did not send me Band-Aids with it. They sent me Band-Aids with everything else I ordered, but not this knife. They must have figured, bud, if you cut yourself with this knife, you're going to need more than a Band-Aid. You're going to need a scourging. Yeah. Okay, so you can see we got the hat shaping in there. This is where we're going to put the face, his face. Yep. And so I'm just bringing that corner down. We don't need them. Don't want them. We're going to cut the corners off. take to just slabbing that stuff right off from there, way quicker than the Dremel. See them chunks? We're just ripping chunks off. We might as well be using our Viking battle axe to trim this thing down. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Say hi to Amy Jo over at Amy Jo. Amy Jo's got a YouTube channel. Hi, Amy Jo. Yep. I think she's doing a show. Okay. Chop some more of that wood off from there. Now, you can see why we put the center lines on. Because when we're taking the corners down, if we look at the bottom at those center lines, we can kind of get like an equal amount off each side. Yep. Chop, 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 chop. Oh, here we go back to the Dremel motor. Or no, sorry. This is a micro motor with that straight burr. I'm starting to figure out where I want to put the shoulders. So, I never know till I actually get there. I could have buried the shoulders up by the hat, but then it looks like he's a hunchback and he should be in Notre Dame ringing bells, right? Nope, that ain't what he's going to do. Now you can see the center lines that I put on here. That is good. It's all denominal. Yeah, it's all related. Okay. Probably didn't use that word right, but what do you want? I live in the sticks. Squirrels don't have a thesaurus, people. They don't know what the meaning of words are. They just look at me and fluff their tail and run away. Okay. So, where the heck was I with this? Okay, when you put your center lines in, because I'm working off the corner, okay, here. Well, I got that Dremel out. That cuts all extreme flavor. Doing a number to this thing. So when you put your center lines in, here we go again, on the corner, that is giving me the width of my face. So it's half of a half of a half, right? Half of the half. It's not half fat. It's not half slow. It's not half fast. Or maybe it is half fast. I don't know. But anyway, working that hat down, you can see I'm using the belly of the flame burr to give the bottom of a hat a little flare outward. This is how you would make your traditional wizard cap. Unless you want a big brim on it like a witch's hat, then you're already behind the 8 ball because we already cut most of that off from there. But we want it round, so we're going around and round and round and round. And we're using the belly of that burr to create the swoop up to the hat. That's what we're doing there. I like this guy. He came out pretty good. He's, see there, I'm showing you the belly. I didn't show you my belly, though. It'd be a lot bigger swoop in it than that. Yes, it would. All right. I forget where I'm at. Okay, we're going to put a center line in the center line. Now, remember, this used to be a corner, but I chopped it off, right? So we're going to put the center line back on the corner. And we're going to divide this bottom up here. Okay? See, yep, we're splitting the center of the center. If I threw it on the ground, it'd be centrifugal. No, it wouldn't. They'd have to go spin around. You can see I'm working the sides of the face in there. This is more of the traditional gnome face. It's thin at the top, and you got big fat cheekies, or he's going to have big fat cheekies. You can see I'm putting that corner back on there, right? For the nose. That's what I'm doing. You can see I'm cutting that corner at a 45-degree angle from my new center line. 45-degree angle from my new center line. One more time. 45-degree angle from my new center line to give me the nose, okay? And you can see how believe it or not, those lines are straight, but it looks like it's tapered in, but it's not. Okay, now you can see I drew my nose on there. And I'm going to use the side of this taper burr because I don't want it to be a sharp point. Because if you notice by your face, your nose does not come down to a sharp point at the corners of your face. So I use the side of that burr to start cutting that nose in. And yep, I did it again. I forgot to hit the go button. Forgot to hit the record button. I sure did. And now I'm kind of figuring out where I want the eyebrow at. At this point, you got lots of room. You can, like I'm going to move my hat up a little bit because I want to see a little bit of forehead there. So I'm bringing the brim of the hat back. I thought it was sticking out too far. This is a gnome, and gnomes don't have brims. Well, do they or don't they? I don't know. So you can see I'm cutting the corner of the face in with a just carved Rob finger knife. That's what I'm using there. It looks like a finger. Yep. I was hoping for good luck that meant I wouldn't cut myself with it. But hey, when you got a finger knife, it wants to take fingers. So you can see I'm working the temples back right where the eyebrows are. So it tapers in tighter to the top of the hat. And now I'm cutting, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm cutting something there. Okay, and I decided I'm not going to give them ears. I could have gave them ears, but I decided I'm not going to give them ears. See, I'm trimming the brim of the hat down with the finger knife. What finger is it? It's the middle finger. That's what finger it is. Okay, so, yep, I fashioned it after my own middle finger. I looked at my finger and I carved the finger into a piece of wood, and I stuck that blade on the other end of it. And you can see I'm moving the top of that hat. I want the hat to be up above his eyes, but I want it to drop back a little bit. So there's about 1/8 of an inch drop from the front of the hat to the back of the hat. So it looks like it's tilted back on his head just a little bit. And you can see that we got a 3mm chisel. It's 3 millimeters wide. And I am starting to work where my eyeballs are going to be. This is where we're starting the eyeball mound. Ooh, zoomed in for you. Yep. A U-gouge like this or a V-tool works good. If this was a bigger piece of wood, I would probably come in from both sides to get that upper eyelid put in there. Oh, there's a V-tool. And I've decided that this V-tool may be just a little bit too big for this job. I do have smaller ones, but they're in my Just Carved Rob travel box out in the truck. And, you know, I'm lazy, so I didn't go out there and get it. Nope, I didn't. But you can see that's what I'm doing. There's your upper eyelid. Put the upper eyelid in before I put anything else in. Yep, that's what I did. Now I've got a micromotor with a football diamond burr. One of them cheap sets of 20 diamond burrs you can get off Amazon. Yep, that's what we do around here. We're going to change our name to Just Carved Rob and Amazon. Yep. Don't have a link for them. You can find them. They're cheap. These are the ones in the orange box. So they are of a medium grade. You got orange, green, and red. Orange, green, and red. The orange ones seem to be a little coarser. The green ones seem to be a little finer. And the red ones seem to be really fine. Or you... Oh, hiccup. Or you can get the ones in the clear box that... I like using the ones that are like 80 grit. The really coarse ones. But they're bigger. You can't get the small ones in that big of a grit because I think, well, they're too small for that big of a grit. But you can get the bigger ones, the bigger headed ones, and a coarser grit. And those are the ones I like using for sanding because I hate sanding. Yes, I do. I use a flapper wheel and a this and that and the other thing. I haven't tried any of those little 3M, they kind of look like a disc with legs. I haven't tried any of them. So now I'm cutting the lower part of the eye mound in. The lower part of the eye mound in. Is there an echo in here? Is there an echo in here? So we'll round that over to get our eye mound. And I'm cutting low and I'm cutting deep because I want the bottom eyelid to be part of the eye mound. Now you can go through it by steps and create the eye mount, then go back and create the upper eyelid and lower eyelid. But I'm just jumping around here. I'm jumping ahead of myself. I might jump in the river. I might be up the river without a paddle. That often happens. But you see what I'm doing here. I'm working from eye to eye, back and forth, back and forth. And you should never do one eye totally and then go back and do the other eye. make your cut for cut. Whatever you're doing on one side, do to the other, and it will come out more similar. Okay? Because I have done that to myself. Done one eye totally, and I'm like, wow, that is the best eye I've ever carved. Then I go to the other eye, and I'm like, hey, he needs a patch because this is not the best eye I ever carved. So if you're going to make them both bad, like I do, just go ahead and do them both at the same time. Get it over with. Deal with the pain. Using the fat part, like we did on the hat with the cut-saw burr. I'm using the fat part of the burr there to create the swoops down each side of the nose. That's what I'm doing there. And you can see I'm working it. I'm going to work them eyes. Work. Eyeballs are a pain in my eyeballs. Eyeballs are, you can see one eye is bigger than the other, but we'll fix that. We'll bring that other eye over as soon as I realize what I've done. And I will. And there, we did. There we did. Yep. And we'll make the one on the right a little shorter and the one on the left a little longer. And bada boom, bada bing, poof. Right, Ben? Studio on the Lake. Where have you been, Benny? Benny boy. We miss your videos, Ben. Okay, now you can see what I was talking about. How the what do you call that thing? The sides of your head there. The temples are in. And then you can see the face is more triangular. I think the best way to explain it is try making your face diamond shaped. And that'll get you there. It'll get you similar to a human or alien face or whatever you're going for. Now we're working. I've cut the smile lines in there next to the nose. And, of course, you can't see it. Oh, Rob, you're a terrible cameraman. I know. I never went to photography school. Yes. But you can see we're working the mound of the mouth. Your mouth is not flat. It is round. So we're making a round mound for the mouth there. Yes, we are. And now I'm cutting down. I'm making the sides of my face. This is totally not the way to carve, guys. Totally not the way to carve, unless you're just Carve Rob. And, yeah, I have no excuses here. Okay, so there he is. There's the face. See, that's what I was talking about. See how the head tapers up under the hat? And now we're putting a mustache on. Yep. He got his mustache, which is going to be poking way too far out. But that's okay, because we got to work the round of the mound of the mouth back in there. So we're going to round that, make that mustache a little more rounder, cup-shaped. Yeah, and you can see there I'm working my little cheekies. Cheeky. He's being so cheeky, Governor. Yes, we are. Okay, and using this blade is only like a half of an inch long. Don't know why I made such a short knife, but yes, that knife is made from an old ball bearing race. You know the ball bearing race? It's where it's the thing the ball bearings ride on. It's kind of got like a little U shape for the balls to fit into. Well, if you don't know, that's what it is. 52-100 ball bearing steel. Yes, that's what it is. Very sharp, very thin. Yep. You can sit and dink around with that forever and ever and ever. Okay, now I'm like, where's my beard going to go? Okay, so now we're drawing the beard in. There you go. There's the beard. And we're going to come back about 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch. See right there? And that's going to make that beard stick out from the side of the head a little bit. See what I'm talking about? Diamond shaped, friends. Diamond shaped. Go with the diamond. Yes. Of course, I know what this guy's going to look like because I'm the one that had to sit here and carve it. Had to carve him. See how he's got that more of that little fat gnome face? Yes. Little fat gnome face with the beard. His cheeks are popped away out. His forehead is kind of popped in, or sides of his head. And then at the bottom, the beard really goes poof. And now I'm like, well, what are we going to do back here? Let's give him a hippie haircut. hippie haircut. You know, because gnomes eat mushrooms. They eat them red mushrooms with the white dots, the happy mushrooms, cypercillus mushrooms. This gnome is probably tripping balls right now. He's like, "Wow, man, I'm being carved out of wood." Yeah, okay. Okay, so we split the hair, we split the beard, and there you have the facts of life. No, uh, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have a gnome. Yep. And there again, using the fat part or the bulbous part of that burr. Oh, now we got a little tiny 3/32nd, 3/32nd engraving burr to cut up underneath the hat to separate the hair from the hat. As Ben would say, we are delineating the hair from the hat. All right, we got that V tool out again. I don't know why. Probably just to clean it up because it's pretty fuzzy, you know. So we're going to get rid of some of that fuzz. We're going to try to figure out how the heck our beard's going on here. We got to give them some arms. Got that little short pelican knife from Flex Cut. You know, I never really liked this knife until I ground that blade thinner. You know me. I can't leave nothing alone. Nope, I can't. So I ground that blade thinner and made it pointier. Probably took about 100 years of life off of it by doing that because now it's thinner and pointier. So as you sharpen it, it's just going to keep getting thinner and pointier. And then eventually you're going to end up with nothing but a little nub, a little nubbus. And it wasn't that big to start out with. This hair, again, this knife is only about, I'd say a hair over a ½ inch long. But I love it. I love it. Yep. Works really good for doing eyeballs. Normally this knife is only reserved for eyeballs. But it was in my hand, so you know how that goes. So lazy he can't reach over and pick up another knife. Oh my goodness. Old Sean Brooks was up in my neighborhood visiting. He didn't come and see me, but he was up here. He said it's so much cooler than Missouri. I think he's in Missouri by the Mississippi River. Yep, I think that's where he is. Hey, Sean, no more vacation time for you, buddy. You got to deal with the rugrats in the school. Ah! What's worse than rats? Rugrats. At least rats running high. Rugrats attack. Yes, they do. So no more time off until when's your next vacation, Sean? Oh, there's that big Flex Cut knife. I love that knife. Yes. It's got a flat grind on it. Awesome knife. Very sharp. Comes out of the box. Very, very sharp. No need to strop that knife when you first get it. You just got to remember, though, when you're used to short knives and you get a longer one, keep your fingers out of the way because you will be like using the back part of the knife and forget about that long pointy end sticking out there and she will get you. I know. I've learned from experience to keep my pedingers out of the way. Keep them out of the way. But man, the torque you can apply because it's a wider back of the blade, but yet it comes right down mighty fine. It comes down fine, so you can get more torque on that blade by using your thumb as a pivot. You see how I'm using my thumb as a pivot? Pivot. Yep. Chop. It's just something I do. When I'm using a Dremel or a micromotor with those coarse burrs, they make everything fuzzy, so I like going back over it with a knife. And you can see I'm getting rid of all that marking from the burrs. From the burrs. I need a drink. I'm running dry here, friends. I'm running dry. Hang on. Yep, that was it. That's what we needed. Okay. What are you going to do now, Rob? Oh, you're going to give them feet? You're going to give them feet? I would have just done a bust. You know, like the upper half. Nope. We're going to squeeze in a whole gnome in 3 inches of wood. I think it's 3 or 4 inches. We're going to squeeze in a whole gnome with a great big head. With a great big head. This should have been like a 5-inch piece of wood. But he's going to be a short little fat gnome. Happy and fat. You're not even going to be able to tell if he's got legs. He might just be a belly and shoes. I think that's the way it works out. But it's all right. I like him. I think I'll do a bigger one. I got some birch out there in the garage that's about 5 inches in diameter. So I could take my my electrical tools and my battery operated Bauer chainsaw that I have and rough out a gnome. Could also break out the MS-170 with a carving bar to help me along with that process. But yeah, I want to build. Don't forget, Halloween is coming. We need to do some monsters and stuff like that. So yep, we'll be getting into that here shortly. Although a gnome, it could be classified a Halloween character. It is mythical. I mean, didn't they have a movie with leprechauns that were evil leprechauns? Maybe we'll do an evil leprechaun, a zombie leprechaun, chasing his bucket of brains instead of gold, eh? Yeah. So what are you doing there, Jordy? You know, carving more birdhouses, big ass birdhouses out of big honking cedar trees. Oh, I wish I could get some big cedar trees like that. I'd make me a chair. Yeah. Okay, so now we're trimming up his mustache there. You can see, for some reason, I don't know, whenever I go to my left hand, well, you can see with the right hand, he goes to the right, or goes to the left, and when I carve with my left hand, he goes to the right. So that's what he's looking like. Oh, we're going to beat him up with the boot brush. Yep, we're going to get scrub-dub-dub. Gnome in the tub. All right. Okay, we got to give him a mouth here. Got that little blade again. I like them little blades. Especially the little super sharp blades like this one. Get right up in there and chip out the grin line there. Or pick his nose with it and all that good stuff. All right, we're back with another micromotor tool. Now, there was some footage in here, but I wasn't watching my camera, so it did it in the... what is it? Landscape is sideways, right? So did it in the other one, up and down, and it was skinny. And when it does is skinny, it will turn all your videos skinny. I don't know why. I don't know why it does that with this here camera. So, okay, what do we got here? Oh, all right, we have the cut saw. Fine. Cut saw fine gold taper burr. Love that burr. And we are cutting an arm in. That's what we're doing. Getting up underneath his beard there. We're giving him an arm. Cutting under the arm. And, yep, we're putting his hands in his pockets. Because I don't feel like carving hands. Yep, this video is already way too long. I don't want to torture you guys anymore. You know, I go away for months at a time. And then I come back and I start torturing you right away with hands. We're not doing that. I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm going to take it easy on you. You can see that we're cutting in the pockets and the arms and this and that and the other thing. We're going to angle that arm inward. That's what I'm doing right there. I'm using the whole length of that taper burr to cock that arm inward like it's in his pocket. That's what I'm doing. Yes, yes. And then we're going to come down, we're going to go out, and we're going to go this way and that way and the other way, and then we're going to, yep. So you can see now he's got an arm. Bada boom. There we go. Bada boom, bada bing. It's a wonderful thing. Now he's got 2 arms. I did 1 arm off camera because I didn't want to torture you guys any more than I have to. And now we've got the cut saw extreme flame burr and the Dremel 4000 with a Dremel flex shaft. But Rob, why don't you just use up your micromotors? Because the micromotor does not like the extreme flame burrs. I mean, it will handle them. But why put all the extra torture on that little micromotor when we can use this Dremel with a flex shaft that is a torque monster, right? It's a torque monster for doing this kind of stuff. I think that's why you'll see Jordy most of the time he's using the Dremel. He has the bigger and the stronger and the more powerful Fordham, and I have the 732 Dremel, which is like their industrial model. It's a motor with a shaft. It's not anything like the Dremel, but they don't make them anymore. But I always got, when I found out they were going to not make them no more, I said, what parts do you got for it? And so the lady at Dremel said, well, we got this and that and the other thing. And I said, I want them all. It was like $300. I said, send it all to me. Shafts, inner shafts, handpiece, this, that. Because it's like the Fordham. It's got the snap-on hand pieces, but it's keyed. It's not the square drive like the one Jordy's got. Mine's keyed. So here we go. We got a cut burr, not a nail burr. This is more like, looks more like a funnel. And I'm going around, I'm undercutting that jacket he's wearing. Yep, that's what I'm doing. And now I'm undercutting up and under to thin out the reveal of the jacket. Hey, there we go. Reveal of the jacket. That's what we're doing there. And now I'm shaping it so his feet are on like a 45-degree angle each way. And I'm using the belly of that burr to give him a little butt bump. Butt bump. Yep. You can see it. There it is. You can see the butt burr. The butt bump coming out. Yep. Because, he's got his hands in his pocket. So he's stretching that jacket forward, which is going to suck it under his bum. Yep. Or at least in my way my mind works, that's the way it's working. Yep. Okay, so changing out the burrs. We have got another one of them little cut burrs. I'm cutting the the jacket to make it look like his hands are in there, like it's got kind of like hoodie pockets in it. And I'm getting in there because I really can't get in there with a knife to flatten that out under his beard. So I got in there with that little cut burr and did a little flattening. Now we give him some little creases in his arms there. And now I'm doing a little separation of his little feet. There we go. Okay. Oh, yep. What knife do we have? Oh, we got that little. Why am I using that little knife again? But we're using the little one. Little. And we're going to shape this, do a little shoe shaping here. A little shoe shine, a little shoe shaping. Oh, man, you know what the problem with all these carvings is? I did a double-headed Santa. One head up, one head down, one head yelling, one head smiling. Yeah, there's one of them big pelican knives. Dull. Needs to be sharpened. Okay, so there we go. Flex cut detail knife right there. Splitting the back of his shoes. Give it a little separation there on the back of his shoes. That's what we're doing there. And I'm going to round them over towards the top a little bit. And I'm going to go around and clean that up under his coat there. Get that all cleaned up, rounding over the ends of the shoes. Okay, so I know you see a lot of people, they either do the power carving thing or they do the knife thing. That's the end of the movie, people, and that's what he came out looking like. So share, subscribe, and like. And that is terrible. We're going to have to go back and recrop this part of this. Be awesome. Carve something awesome. Catch you on the next. Just when you thought it was over and you thought you were safe, here he is. This is what he came out looking like. Side view, front view, back view. Yep. There we go. Side view. Next side view. Front side, corner at 45 degrees angles. All right. Bye-bye. See you later.